Hey guys, Mr. C, Silverfox, coming from Bucaramanga, Colombia. I want to talk to you about something that came up on Tusk's thread the other day. We're talking, and one of the guys on the thread was asking about boundaries and how to set boundaries properly to frame yourself as a really masculine man. A couple thoughts that I have on that. First is, a lot of this shit you need to think it. Well, it's not that you need to think it, like just in the sense of you read a book and now you think these sayings, or you watched a video and now you think the same things you saw Tusk say or someone else say online. I think it's more that you need to integrate it. And so one of the major things you need to learn is when you interact with a lot of women, you start to discover how to be incredible to women. You start to discover how to give them the kinds of feelings and experiences that they crave. And when that happens, you start to realize that you're actually quite a rare kind of guy. Just simply because 98% of guys can't do the majority of things you can do, whether it's walking up to her in public or interacting with her and 10 of her friends or stopping her with her parents or whatever it is. And as that starts to happen, your actions, your behaviors start to go into kind of more and more of an, let's call it contrarian approach to life. What starts to happen is you start to really not give a shit about what people think of you. When that starts to happen, you get the freedom to say no. And this, I think, is really the foundation to setting boundaries. It's the freedom to say no to people. And it's extremely important. It's extremely important with your family, with your friends, at your workplace, and especially with women. Now, most guys, nice guys in the West that are raised in what I was raised in, the very femme-centric belief system that you should always not compromise as a man and basically do whatever she wants. It's a terrible approach to life. You are literally guaranteeing that you are going to be fucked over very badly. I mean, there's about a 1% chance that you'll be with some girl and it won't end that way, but there's about a 99% chance you're going to be dating some girl and it's just going to end in a terrible way because you have set things up in such a way as to push yourself further and further outside your principles, and not your comfort zone that we push you out of, which is your fear-based comfort zone, but the comfort zone that you establish with yourself based on what you feel is appropriate behavior, or based on your principles and values and morals and ethics. You should never go outside of that. I mean, it's one thing for you to be raised with a foolish belief that women don't like being approached in public and being told they're beautiful. And then you come on a boot camp with me and I teach you, actually that's insane bullshit. And then I give you data by interacting with, let's say in your boot camp, 100 different stunningly gorgeous women, and you can get real-time data where each one of them thanks you tons for making their week or their month. Even if they don't go out with you, they love what you did in interacting with them. Then you can reprogram that part of your brain, and that type of being pushed out of your comfort zone, that is cool. That I think is part of growth, and that's super healthy. That's what I recommend. It's what we try and get for all our guys. But what I'm talking about is the comfort zone where you don't want to do something, but you're afraid to say no. For example, I was with a girl last week. You guys saw the videos online, the 19-year-old model, Gabriela. And we had a great time. She came and saw me for a couple days. She forgot to bring her bathing suit, and I really wanted to spend a day by the pool. So I decided I'm going to take her shopping to get a bathing suit. She didn't ask. This was just my idea. I thought this would be fun. So we went looking, we found a place. They had 2 bathing suits that she fell in love with. Of course, being a woman, she couldn't decide which one. They both were fucking incredible. They both looked amazing on her. So I told her which one I thought she should get. Ultimately, it's her decision, but she couldn't decide. So I said, well, okay, I'll make the decision for you. Get the red one. It looks incredible on you. And then she said, but you know what? I want both. Can you get me both? Now, for me, I had decided I was totally fine with buying one bathing suit. It was about 35 Canadian or something like that. Now, it wasn't about the dollar value, but I wasn't okay paying for both. And I wasn't okay simply because then I'm being pushed out of my own principles. I had decided to do one thing, and now based on what she wants me to do for her, I'm basically bending over backwards to do what she wants me to do so that she can get what she wants in life. Now that's normal. Women push for that. That's just feminine. That's testing. It's part of shit testing. But for me, it would be totally inappropriate to go outside my comfort zone. So I said no. I mean, I said it in a couple different ways, but I was like, sorry, sweetheart, that ain't happening. And then it happened in a couple different ways, because that's how women are. They'll push your buttons, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong going on. Like, I made it very clear that no, this is the boundary that I was setting, and it was done. And then she threw a temper tantrum for about 10-15 minutes, and we went for a quick bite to eat, and then went back to the hotel and had a crazy time together. Had another delicious day the next day. So the point is, the problem is never in her asking and pushing your boundaries. And that's in general, whether it's your boss or your friends. The problem is never about people testing your boundaries. The problem is, if that gets you really bothered, then it's because you're weak and you need to become stronger in setting boundaries. The primary way you become stronger in setting boundaries is by saying no to people. So practice. When your friends invite you out to go for dinner and it's not where you want to go, say no. It's not the end of the world. I don't mean say no to everything, but just start practicing saying no. It's an essential skill. If you go into the dating arena and you don't know how to say no to women, especially if you're older and you have some disposable income and she's younger than you, dude, you're fucking toast, man. Like, you're gonna get chewed up and spat out. It's just totally gonna happen. My own opinion, it's way better do your own training first. This is a little bit like, guys will say this to me all the time. They're like, oh, you know what? I'm doing some dating now, and it's just gonna kind of see how it pans out, and then if I run into more problems, I'll book some coaching. I don't care if you book coaching with me or some other coach. Pick someone that for you really, really, really jive with. But you should get your footing set properly first. I mean, this is critical stuff. 98% of guys don't know how to do this. That's why if you look at my channel and you get to know me better and you see the women that I date, that is not the life that 98% of guys lead. Like right now, I've been for 3 months in Colombia. I'm down here as long as I want, but I kind of agreed with Tusk. I'll go to the Middle East in the summer for 3 months to do some boot camps, and I was supposed to go do some boot camps in Asia for a couple months. My visa here expires in mid-March, so I'll probably be taking off and leaving Colombia in mid-March and going somewhere else. But 2020 for me will probably be the whole year, just traveling around, dating the women that I want to date, interacting with whoever, and then going back to the city where I have someone special and seeing her for as long as I want and going somewhere else. That's not how 98% of guys live their life. If you want to do your life that way, you need to learn how. And it's not simply you get up one day and you try it. You got to learn how to get your masculinity strong before you're in the situations where it gets tested and pushed. If you go out and you start dating Latinas now and you're really weak in those areas, it's fine. You'll learn how I did, which was 8 years of marriage to a spicy Latina and a terrible, incredibly expensive divorce. And the whole affair cost me easily 20 to 30, maybe 40 times what you'll be paying at a boot camp. Plus, instead of learning that shit in a week or two, I learned it over 8 years. So I paid a tremendous amount to gain what I have. That's fine, that's how life works. But, my own opinion, you can do it the smart way or the stupid way. I always recommend the fast, smart way. As far as boundaries, initially you learn it by saying no. You learn it by discovering how to be the prize with a woman. And then once you are the prize with women, because you can give them that, then everything changes. Women start wanting to be with you more than you want to be with them. You're literally deciding who you're going to give the experience that you can give to a woman to, and you start being extremely selective. She doesn't, she's not my type. She doesn't deserve what I have to give. She doesn't deserve what I have to give. She's not worthy of my time. You become extremely selective. That's what life in the upper tier is like. You determine where your energy goes, and you develop a very strict criteria of who gets it and who doesn't get it. To some degree that's physical, to some degree that's based on energy and personality and values. And you build all those things over time. The one benefit of taking a boot camp is that then you get your hand held after. You can be in contact saying, hey, I went on this date and this happened, she said this, she said that. We have ongoing packages. We have, I'm kind of fleshing this out right now with Tusk. We have one where you take a boot camp on the front end, and then you get about 4 months of coaching remotely, and then you have a second boot camp on the tail end. Just a great way to get yourself deeply integrated in masculinity. Myself, I like working with guys that are a little bit older, because I am, and because I love dating women that are in their 20s, and I know a lot of other guys do too. And so the benefit of being in my age bracket is you have a lot more expendable income. So invest it wisely. You know, really, what does it cost you to upgrade yourself? What you can upgrade yourself in 5 years, we can upgrade just like that. One boot camp on the front end, 3, 4, maybe 5 months of coaching, another boot camp on the tail end somewhere else, where you can practice things and constantly be applying them and get feedback and get criticism and you know, just get help. This stuff is really confusing at first. You know, it's confusing as fuck. You're going into all of this stuff happens where it's really emotional. You like the girl, you're feeling things. It's really hard to remain objective and understand how to react properly in different situations. So that's why we do what we do. That's a rough idea of how to set boundaries better and frame yourself better as a masculine man. Yeah, I think it's, you know, critical foundational level stuff. So definitely learn how to do it, and hit me up or hit Tusk up to arrange some time to take things further in your own dating life. I think time is by far the most precious resource that you have, and you know, you deserve to be, well, it's not that you deserve it, but if you want it, like every guy wants it. Every guy wants to live this life where you're dating all different beautiful women in their early 20s, you know, every other day. If you want to learn how to do that, it's totally a learnable skill. And those that learn it can experience it. And those that don't can watch videos about it. Take care, guys.